Okay.
You can stand up and walk over.
It's working now. It's working now. And we'll set the time.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you doing today, Felicia?
I'm doing pretty good. Doing all right, yeah.
Well, my name is Beth, and I'll be chatting with you today. And I just want to kind of give you a little heads up first.
Okay.
Anything that you say with us stays here between us.
Okay.
I don't go share any information you share with me. I don't go share it with any of my colleagues or anything like that. It stays between us.
Okay.
The only time that it would not stay between us is if, say, you're threatening to harm yourself or threatening to harm someone else, then I would have to proceed and share that with someone.
Okay.
But typically everything stays within us in our office, and that's it.
Okay.
Okay, any
All right.
questions about that?
No, I think that's fine. I think that sounds good.
Okay,
Yeah.
so tell me a little bit, what brings you in today?
Well, I've been kind of struggling with my purpose, I guess, in life. I've always seemed to be going forward with being a teacher, and kind of like was told that that might be a good field for me. So I kind of followed that, and I've taught for many years now. I have a master's degree in that, and I just don't feel like I'm being fulfilled, I guess, with the teaching. I just seem like I'm going through the motions, but I'm not really getting anything out of it anymore, and I'm not sure what avenue that I should be going into. You know, I know it's something that I need to be doing, but I'm not sure what, and I kind of want to get an idea of basically just how to evaluate myself. What is it that I like? You know, what is it that really gives me a purpose, or, you know, that passion. You know, you get up in the morning and you're like, I just can't wait to go do, you know, this.
Right. Well, tell me a little bit, maybe how long you've been teaching, what kind of stuff you've taught.
Okay,
a little bit more history, maybe.
I see. I've been teaching for about, I say, close to 15 years now.
Okay.
And I taught in like a Christian school for a little while, and then I've been to high school and taught a lot of grade levels, most of them in the high school level.
Okay.
And right now the classes that I have are for kids who are gifted in the 9th and the 10th grade. So I do see that I just kind of follow a similar pattern, and I'm thinking maybe it's just that I'm just burnt out. I don't know. You know, I can't really tell. I've been doing it quite a few years now. You know, so, and right now I'm the only one, you know, who's working too. So I'm kind of not sure if this is a good time to try and transition into something else, because my husband's he's getting unemployment. He's just got his teaching certificate, and trying to get it back into the workforce.
Okay, let's bring it back to you a little bit more.
Okay.
What initially got you in the teaching field? What initially drove you that that's what you want to do?
Let me think. What initially started it? I guess when I was younger, my mother, she wasn't a professional teacher, but she taught a lot at Sunday school and different classes at the church, so she seemed to really like enjoy that. That was her thing, and I liked it too. I liked the research. You know, when you would research how to do different things, how to present topics and subjects to someone. So getting all that information together, sometimes I would help her with that. Pull it all together.
Yeah.
So that's probably where my first taste came, with my watching my mom, you know, get into all these different subjects and areas, and I was just fascinated with knowledge. I've been reading. I mean, I just love reading. Always loved and enjoyed reading. So I kind of linked the two together in a way for some reason.
Have you always just taught the high school? Have you taught different grades as well, or
other grades?
Maybe that would kind of jazz it up a little bit if you were able to do more, you know, different grades or something.
Well, when I taught at the Christian school, it was younger children. Yeah, it wasn't at a high school level. It was younger, elementary age. But that's it.
Okay. What would you say that you like the most about teaching at this time?
Mm.
Even though it's kind of overwhelming and you're kind of, you say burnout on it, but when you think back to your roots and you think back to when you first started, what did you really love about it?
I guess the main thing that I liked was the wealth of information. When you learn about, when you do a lot of reading and you try to get involved, get in as much as you can to present to your students, I found myself really getting absorbing as much as I could. You know, sometimes I get off track, but that's what I enjoyed, was that part of it, actually reading up on the different subject levels. So my area is English. And you know, there's a lot of reading with English, and you know, so I liked that. I liked the going out, getting this information, reading it up, not necessarily putting it together, but actually like researching it and putting it together in a curriculum, getting a curriculum together. I do like that. I do enjoy that part. And any kind of information, even if I'm reading about the news.
Right.
I like that too.
At the school that you're at now, is that sort of an option maybe to not just have to be just the teacher, but to maybe branch out and look at doing maybe curriculum or something like that?
I don't know.
Do you think that might be an option or worth looking into maybe?
It's worth looking into. It's definitely something where at least you wouldn't have to be in the classroom all the time, huh? That would be like an option, right? Yeah.
I think that would definitely give you, open your door to a broader range of things. Because my next question I was going to ask you was, if you could do anything besides teaching, what would that look like for you?
I don't know.
What other things interest you? You've mentioned how much you like to read and absorb knowledge and learn stuff. Are there other fields that you're interested in exploring? What other areas would you maybe like to look into looking into?
What other areas?
To explore?
It's a good question. That really is a good question.
What are some of your interests?
What are my interests? I like women's issues, things like that. Ask me, my friends, when there's speakers in town or something, we all get together and we go and listen and get empowered. Basically, I like doing things like that. I like music.
Right.
I like being involved in my church. I guess I don't really have as many interests as I would like to. I think I need to maybe explore a little bit more, and I've gotten into the mom and the wife routine, and you get in that routine.
But you've mentioned several things here that you like to look into. Your music, your family, your church, that kind of thing. So let's look at some of that. What are some of the things you could do with those things that could maybe expand into other things? I think.
Well, I've been kind of thinking about, like, especially with the church, when they do have different speakers come, maybe get more involved with that, with the women's groups.
And you mentioned too, empowering women. That's certainly a big area, especially within the church these days, that you can definitely plug into and use your teaching experience and your. Because with being a teacher, there's the positive with that is that you can probably speak well in front of groups and get along with most people because your students are so varied. So that might be some options you can look into to really kind of dig deep in with yourself and kind of use your teaching experience, but not as much just in a teacher role, but to be able to expand it to other areas as well. Because you don't want your attitudes and such affecting your students. Because they can sense that sometimes from you. Have you noticed that at all? How is your changing attitude affecting your students?
I'm hoping that it's not noticeable, but it probably is, because when you're not really as enthusiastic as you really used to be, then they can probably sense that, and then their enthusiasm may not be as great. And then you think about, oh, wow, I'm affecting somebody's kids.
Right.
Yeah, you know, and
Right.
what could this do with their future if they look at the teacher and say, well, she doesn't seem all that excited about English. That's definitely not an area I want to get into. You know, you have to think about the impact of what you're doing, how it affects their future. You know, so that's a big thing, and it's something I need to really consider. You know, like think about pretty seriously. If I'm going to stay in this field, I got to find my passion again for it,
Right.
or a passion for something else, I guess. You know, that I can inspire somebody. I like to inspire people. I like them when I talk to them that they're like, oh wow, I'm so glad I didn't think of it that way, or you know, like, because I really put a lot of emphasis on words. You know, that I don't take that lightly. What I say or what someone says to me or what I read from somebody, I really think that that's a very impactful on people. You know, what words I do, you know.
Well, good. Well, it sounds like you've kind of been thinking through a lot of this already on your own, and it sounds like there's some definitely good options you can kind of start exploring and looking into.
Okay.
I would encourage you to maybe start by making just a list, maybe your pros and cons, some stuff that what you love about teaching, what you don't love about teaching, and just kind of weighing out your options. And the other thing I would really encourage you to do as well is to make your list of what drives you, what do you love, what are you passionate about. Just really think through some of that. And then next week when you come, then we can discuss some of that as well.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about anything we talked about?
I don't think I have any questions, but it's been very good. It's insightful. You know, it's helping me to kind of delve into myself a little bit more because I'm sure it's there.
Right.
You know, sometimes you get stuff heaped up on top of it, you gotta really dig to find that place where you used to be, where you like to be excited about.
Exactly, and it's
what
hard to
you
go to
do.
a job every day that you're not passionate about, that you've lost that passion for. It's very hard. But I would encourage you just to kind of think forward and not dwell on the past and what you've done, but move forward, and now is the time to do that for you. And I know it's kind of transitional with your husband and his position right now, but maybe something will open up for him as well.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Beth.
You have 2 minutes left, but
So,
are you good?
I'm
13.
good.